What's going on, everybody? We are back finally. Not that sick anymore with the Sideline Specialists. We're on episode number 35 here, and we have plenty to talk about this week as we get into NFL free agency, maybe a mock draft. Maybe we talk about how stupid Daryl Morey is. I don't know. There's a lot of things we can talk about. So without further ado, let's jump into things.
Welcome to Sideline Specialists.
All right. What's going on, Tom? How you doing?
I'm gonna be Captain Monotone today because my body has decided my energy levels are just. This weekend at work was nuts, so I'm feeling it.
I feel you.
It's one of those. It's like today was a day off, but I'm just like, I need another one.
Dude, I am so ready for paternity leave.
I believe that.
Even if I'm exhausted and I'm gonna not be sleeping much, because obviously a newborn baby, just to not work. That'll be nice.
Yes. I was gonna say, don't expect any sleep. However, you can breathe free of other responsibilities for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I feel you on that. And the allergies, sickness, whatever the hell's going around, I'm tired of that too. I'm hoping both of us are done with that shit.
I need to be done.
Seriously. Because that just makes any day that much harder.
That was just a tough stretch, man. I was like dealing with this thing, and then I'm like, it stopped, and then new things showed up, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
My lungs don't get a goddamn break.
And then you just lay in bed and you're like, all I want to do is breathe out of both fucking nostrils.
It's like I quit vaping, so my breathing is better, but like it was like I did that and then got sick, so I couldn't even enjoy that at first. And I was like, can we not?
Your body was just like, nah, we're not going to breathe yet.
Yeah, it's like, so you did that really, really great thing for us. However, have you tried this? It was like, nobody, and I didn't want to, but thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Super kind of you.
Shaq, what's going on, man? He says, how we doing on this free agency frenzy? We are doing pretty well. It's pretty entertaining, I must say. And you gave us a good segue because we might as well jump into things here.
Literally. Well, just because that's like it's been going nuts.
Oh, it's been going crazy. I will bring up. You know what? I'll just bring up some of the Roto Baller player news here because I can just do some quick hits. And I also want to test out this new thing here on StreamYard that we have. Don't need the audio there, and we're gonna do that. Oh yeah.
The top of my head look ridiculous. All right.
What if I hide that? Oh, there we go. If I hide that, we're good.
Way up. I'm only 5'10", goddammit.
Shaq says, before we do, I will say if Pittsburgh gets Rodgers, they can cause serious noise in the North. Oh, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, if they want to make their team even more of a reality show, because you have the Crash Out brothers now. I mean, so there's going to be like the first NFL on-field murder when Pickens and Metcalf get pissed at somebody together. I swear to God.
Oh, 1,000%. And literally just before we hit go live, my wife sent me a screenshot, that says Mike Tomlin deserves some sort of an award for making it through having to coach Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and now DK Metcalf.
Bro, I saw one with that exact caption, but the first part said Mike Tomlin accepting his Nobel Peace Prize. I was like, yeah, that's
and if you add Aaron Rodgers to that mix, oh yeah, he definitely deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
He's going to be playing while on ayahuasca. You're going to have people getting choked the fuck out. Like, the world is not quite ready. I don't
Shaq,
think.
to be honest with you, as somebody that has lived in Pittsburgh for 5 years, in the cold months, there's literally nothing else to do in Pittsburgh. So, like, you might as well crash out because there's not much else going on.
Everybody's just pissed the fuck off.
Exactly.
So they just lose their minds.
It was either freshman or sophomore year of college. We counted how many days we saw the sun without clouds in front of it.
Oh, no.
And it was a good, 10 from November to April.
It's too hilly and, mountainy and everything, so the cloud cover is, permanent. And
exactly.
you obviously just have all the rivers and everything, so it is, yeah. Pittsburgh just be like that.
And you're just like, cool. Now I have to go walk up this icy hill to go to a class with 0-degree weather and wind chill, and they don't cancel class for anything. Awesome. I'll just go ahead and do that.
You're like, I did not want both of my ACLs. Thank you.
Exactly. But with that being said, I mean, we can talk about the Steelers first because there's a lot of minor signings going on here. But yeah, obviously with the Steelers, if I just throw this in here, if we just bring up the Steelers news. So they've had a bit of movement here. Now, if we go all the way back, let's just say a few days ago, right? So Steelers and Cole Holcomb, they revised his contract. The Jets were always rumored with Justin Fields there. The Seahawks weren't going to pursue Russell Wilson, so they're still in talks with him as well. But the Giants have been talking to Russell Wilson. The Steelers look into Sam Darnold. Still don't know what's going on there either. Well, sorry, Sam Darnold signed with the Seahawks. So, yeah, no Sam Darnold for them either. And then we get to, all of a sudden, the Steelers trade for DK Metcalf. And it was like, how do we get from, we're checking out our quarterbacks, blah, 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 to DK Metcalf? It's like, cool, you got DK Metcalf and you got George Pickens, but you still haven't selected or signed a quarterback. And
I just saw the most, my brain just broke. I just saw the most, I'll show you this shit later because this is wild.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? These contracts be getting out of hand on this one.
Uh-oh. Is this breaking news?
No, this is just someone decided to look into the franchise history of contracts for where this player signed and realized this now makes them per year the highest paid player that franchise has ever had. Ever. And you're gonna see which franchise it is and be like, how the fuck? How? Yeah,
well,
that's why
I did see that the new contract the Steelers are giving DK Metcalf is the highest they've ever signed a wide receiver.
Sorry, I had to pull this because fuck yeah.
Yeah. Once again, before we start, shout out to Dallas for re-signing the long snapper. What a great move, Mr. Jones.
What's that? Hold on. I wish we wouldn't get copyright claims. That'd be the best. I could put on Mr. Jones by Counting Crows.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
They also don't forget, Shaq. They also signed Javonte Williams for $3 million. massive. They're going to be the best team in the world now.
Actually, I just saw a thing about Dallas. The Cowboys have not signed a free agent for more than $6 million a year since 2015.
And they wonder why they fucking suck. Anyway.
And the person they signed that to was Greg Hardy.
Lol. Lol. That's great. That's actually that's the cherry on top of the icing, on top of a really, really, really a hideous cupcake. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
He was beating people up, so he said, "Oh, I'm good at that. Let's go try MMA." And then he got beat up and was like, "Nope, I'm gone."
And they gave him $11 million for 1 year.
that is impressive. What has Homeboy been up to?
But yeah, DK Metcalf to the Steelers was pretty surprising to me because, again, I was like, all right, you guys haven't decided on who the quarterback is yet. They were literally up until they traded for DK Metcalf. It was rumored for Darnold, rumored for Rodgers. At one point, there was even a rumor about Matthew Stafford. The whole Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, obviously, they said they were with ongoing discussions there. And then it was like, oh, DK, what?
Do I like the move? Yeah, because they're both like, he's not old, so it is literally a case of you now have a legitimate, very legitimate 1-2, but you need someone to fucking throw the ball, and now they really need to figure out that part of this. But if they didn't like the free agent quarterbacks enough, then good on them for not just throwing one of them a deal, because obviously all the ones this year, especially that are starter caliber, wanted something more long term. So it just wasn't a good year for that. And I'm sure they'll figure something out. I'm not like, I know you hope they don't, but it is just a case of their offense looks pretty solid. I mean, they need a running back to complement Jalen Warren if he didn't go elsewhere, which I feel like I saw his name somewhere, but I don't know what it was about.
Yeah, they placed a second-round tender on it.
That's so basically, that's right. Okay, so if a team can make them an offer, or a team can make him an offer, they can match it, and then if they don't match it, they get a second rounder or something like that.
I think
it's something like that.
Pretty sure that's how it is.
But I think what that does as an organization is make Jalen Warren feel a lot more confident, or at least valued by them, I would think.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, we care enough about like having you here. And to be fair, the $5.3 million is not bad. No. Considering he was number 2 on the depth chart. He was always getting better though, so it did seem like he would overtake Harris if they both had stayed. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought Jalen Warren over the last like season and a half has looked better, and he has also been the more efficient back. And it also seemed like he has a better like, I don't want to say he's a change of pace, but like he has better change of pace like in his running than Najee Harris did. And,
100%.
And also he's a better pass catching back.
That's what I was going to say. He offers you way more from the position. It's like he can do things that Harris it's not even on his mind. So
exactly. Harris is the prototypical hand me ball, I run straight.
Yeah.
Which like there's nothing wrong with that, but
you need a good O-line for that though. It's like
exactly.
So the Chargers obviously have made progress making their O-line better. So he should have a decent fit there, but
and if you're running behind someone like Joe Alt, like you're probably gonna do pretty well.
He could hide behind him. That's how big Alt is. You're like, geez, goodness.
And Shaq's here.
Harris.
Shaq says Slay as well, I think, was a solid piece for their defense. Old but had a great season in 24. Pittsburgh can be deadly if they play their cards right in the draft and throughout free agency. Yeah, they definitely have room to make some more moves. And like for the fans' sanity's sake, I hope they don't get Aaron Rodgers. Like, and I'm not even saying this as a Ravens fan because, like, honestly, I think they could do better than Aaron Rodgers. But like, I already know Aaron Rodgers has outstayed his welcome now in Green Bay, now in the Jets. The Steelers fans and organization are not they're a no bullshit type of team. If Aaron Rodgers tries to like do some weird bullshit or not listen to Mike Tomlin or whatever it may be, like they're not going to stand for that kind of thing.
Agreed.
So I don't know. I just think they can do better than Aaron Rodgers, even if it's like a 1-year deal for somebody.
Well, because my thought, let me actually see what Pittsburgh has. So 2025 Steelers draft picks. So they have they have a first, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 2 7s. My thought was, and they could still do things, but it's like you could draft a guy like Jalen Milroe in the second because the contract will be a lot more like negotiable because he's a rookie coming in.
Right.
And then you have a guy that even if you don't like him, after you give him a year, it's not like you gave up a first for him. It's not like you did any crazy shit. You didn't go out and sign a guy to like a 3-year $100 million deal that you're now stuck with. The problem is this draft I just don't think offers too many QBs in that middle of the draft area.
True.
And that's what we'll have to see, though. I think literally, like, they probably will sign Rodgers because it will be 1 or 2 years, and they know they're not going to be like stuck with this dude for the rest of eternity. And at least you give these receivers a chance.
True.
Because Rodgers' numbers were not like horrendous with the Jets, but it is a case of like there was just too much eyes on them. And too much pomp and circumstance and like hype about what the team could be, and then it just fell so short. But we'll see. I mean, I know Mike Tomlin will put that dude. He'll throw him in a freezer and lock his ass in there if he misbehaves. So Tomlin don't fuck around.
No. And Shaq says Rodgers is nothing but a Saturday Night Live segment. Agreed. I will say though the options are very limited. I'm not too sure about the QBs in the draft class either. Yeah. So just like you were saying, Tom, like, yeah, there's not that many options with where they're picking, especially like it's going and that's my thing with the Steelers in general is like they're never bad enough to get a top quarterback pick. They're not trading up for it because they're not like getting rid of a bunch of pieces they already have. And say you do get Rodgers, I think he's good enough to make you a solid team, but I don't think Rodgers is a championship winning quarterback at this point in his career. And so then you're kind of still just treading water in the exact place you're already at. And then you don't get a top pick for a quarterback again. So that's my only thing that like I feel as though that's where they're headed still.
I have a thought about a guy they could take.
Okay.
And it just came to me here. Kyle McCord from Syracuse.
Okay.
I would not hate that. He played at
He was the
Ohio
one that
State.
used to be on Ohio State, right?
Yep. Transferred out. I mean, he's 6'3", 220, and his projection is early to mid day 3, so 4th or 5th.
Okay.
So, I mean, you take a guy in the 4th or 5th, bring him in, and even if you sign a veteran, you take a guy like that and just let him be there. But I literally wouldn't hate that for the Steelers. It's like you can absolutely find a quarterback that will win you games later in drafts. Obviously, Brock Purdy being the number one example today.
True.
Like, I don't like Purdy. I think he's overrated as shit, and I think finally this year we're going to see that get real exposed if he is still a Niner or like signs an extension. I should say, where he's locking himself in because God, they are gutting that franchise. I think we can talk about them next because the amount of things related to the Niners, either like of just players leaving, is I have not seen anything like this.
We can definitely talk about them.
It's just been wild. I just like so many people released, traded, signed by other teams, on the trade block. I mean, we just even in that little short segment, it's like looking to trade Ayuk and potentially Jordan Mason. And the Mason one just blows my mind because I'm like, he came in and performed well for you when your running back, who is always hurt, got hurt. So why would you not want to keep that guy around? I don't get it.
I don't either. And it's like, so obviously the big one was Debo getting traded.
Yes.
And they didn't get much for him, but you do clear up a lot of cap space since the Commanders took on that contract. And yeah, Brandon Ayuk, like, to me, it doesn't make sense why you would even look into trading Ayuk after you already traded Debo. I guess because like Ayuk is getting a bit of money, but like at that point, who else? They have Juwan Jennings and what's his name? The guy that was the rookie, right?
Yeah, the guy who got shot, Pearsall.
Yeah, Pearsall. So that's really about, and like Pearsall had a little bit of flashes here and there, but George Kittle's getting another year older.
He did get better as the year progressed, which I was happy to see. I think you start off your NFL career getting shot, and you're kind of like, well, this is a little bit of a bummer, but
that's true.
he was showing a lot of signs that he's got the heart and the willpower to like work for it and improve. So I think he'll be fine. He'll never be a number one, but he could be a number 2 or 3 for however long, and then
true.
I wouldn't be shocked. Like if the Niners were to trade Ayuk, they would probably get a decent amount of draft capital for him, but it's obviously lessened by the ACL, or whichever tear. Was it ACL or MCL? For both.
I think it was
ACL, right? Yeah. So like that obviously makes his value go down a lot. Because some receivers can come back from that and be great for a long time. Other guys, like Odell Beckham Jr., literally, it's just like he vanished because his knee was just that destroyed. And it's like the same. I'm looking at Tank Dell. I'm like, please come back okay, man. But
yeah, seriously.
But it is a case with the Niners. It's like if they're going to trade Ayuk, then expect them to draft a receiver somewhere because they need one on the roster. And then you can just build with a young group and accept the fact that you're hitting, like doing a franchise reset. So,
right. And it's essentially too, like I said, George Kittle's getting a year older. Christian McCaffrey, like, Lord knows what type of health he's going to be in. They also, Elijah Mitchell just signed with who was it?
He signed somewhere. Oh yeah. It blends in because of course he signs with the other super fucking red team.
Yeah, exactly. So they give Patrick Taylor Jr. an extension, which, like, okay, he wasn't bad, but then there's also like Jordan Mason is now drawing trade interest. So like, how many running backs are you going to have on the roster when you have somebody like Christian McCaffrey who could very well miss another entire season with all of the major injuries he's had? So it's like their offense has just been falling apart.
Agreed.
And like, yeah, so they could sign Joey Bosa. He's going to be a lot of money because if they don't, someone will sign him. They did get Trey Tomlinson off of waivers. They released Malik Collins. What else? Oh, they got like the backup tight end from the Jaguars, which like, okay, cool. But like for a contract worth up to 20 million for just a backup tight end,
Yeah,
I was like, all right.
he's 27. He was a 5th rounder.
Yeah.
Here's the part. You just gave a dude 20 million who unironically had 36 catches on 47 targets in 66 games. Brother. I'm sorry, but what the whole fuck is that front office doing?
His best season came in 2023 when he caught 13 of 15 targets for 155 yards.
I just don't get it, man.
And then they lose Joshua Dobbs too. He goes to the Patriots. So that one's not like super big, but having a good backup is always nice.
Oh yeah.
But Shaq said, in my opinion, as long as Baltimore is in the division, Pittsburgh will not go far in the postseason. Granted, offseason just started, but I don't see any moves they make that will put them over Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore they need to make like a couple little moves here and there, and they need to definitely smash this draft. That's the biggest thing for Baltimore. I'm glad they re-signed Ronnie Staley. Ronnie was easily the biggest person they had to re-sign. People are talking about re-signing Brandon Stevens, but I swear to God, if I watch Brandon Stevens get roasted one more time, I'm going to just jump out the window.
Fair.
Like literally Stevens was the only cornerback they were targeting in the playoffs because you had Wiggins on one side playing very good lockdown coverage. You had Marlon Humphrey playing lockdown everywhere else. And so it was just the Stevens roast fest all the damn time. So whether it's draft, whether it's free agent, I'd rather get somebody else in there. And then the next thing would be a pass rusher. Anybody that can help with the pass rush.
I think they should just sign Zadarius Smith, bro.
I mean, that would be nice.
I think literally that's what they should do.
I would not complain about that whatsoever.
Like when he got released, I was like, there's a lot of teams that are going to be calling his agent. And then obviously I know how he's been on the phone with Cincinnati about Hendrickson. I would be hyped to a level you do not understand if Trey Hendrickson some fucking how ends up on the Eagles. And I know you'd be happy too.
Insane.
Because he wouldn't be in your division beating the shit out of everybody. Like,
yeah, seriously.
He is such a menace.
Well, the thing with the Bengals is they really found themselves in an interesting position because Hubbard retired.
Yep.
And now Hendrickson is getting dealt. Like, who's their pass rush now?
Oh, they don't have one. It was literally Hendrickson almost alone last year, and he was still putting up numbers. I mean, defending against the Bengals as an O-line was the easiest shit ever. It's like, oh, just block him, and no one could. So, I mean, I think we'll go through Ravens, and then we'll just do generic because the Eagles haven't really done much except lose people.
Yeah. Well, the Ravens, literally all they've done is re-sign Ronnie Stanley so far. Marcus Williams expected to be released, which is obvious. They benched him because he was doing so bad. Ardarius Washington played a much better role. So that not surprised there. Obviously, the whole Justin Tucker thing is ongoing. No idea if they're gonna have to sign a new kicker or not. And yeah, then there's Mark Andrews, who everyone's saying he could be this cap casualty, but the Ravens keep saying we're not expecting to move him at any point or cut him at any point. So that's there too. But even if they do move on from Mark Andrews, I would hope they at least moved on from him to either go up to get a pass rusher or somebody of need, or trade him for one. So
yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, I know it's within the division, but the Bengals could use a tight end. The Ravens could use a rusher. Could make something happen.
The Bengals did re-sign Gesicki too, so I think they're trying to stay cheap at certain positions because obviously they have fucked themselves with these other either lack of extensions on players that should have been extended before.
Right.
Because I genuinely sit here and I wonder why other teams do not do the shit Howie Roseman does. Like, why do you not get every player to come in, see if they can restructure deals so they get money up front, and then so they're getting paid the same amount, but it's just changed up in how it ends up affecting the cap. And he does it every single year. Like Saquon Barkley's cap hit this next season is like $8 million. That's it. And same with Hurts. Hurts is like in like 15. Like it's insane.
And they both got huge contracts.
Yeah, they have massive deals. And so you look at it and you're like, I'm looking at Cincinnati. I'm like, bro, there's no way you hired nobody in that entire fucking organization that can figure this shit out. It's like you have to franchise tag T. Higgins again.
That's the craziest thing.
Which he didn't even fucking want last year. He was like adamant he didn't want it, and you're going to do it again. It's just crazy. So, that team.
Meanwhile, like they haven't done shit for the defense.
No.
So, it's like what, like you can't even.
They tried to last year, and every guy sucked.
Right. So it's like, you can't even see the direction they're going in. Oh, they got Samaje Perine. Whoop-de-doo.
They're like, you used to be here. We know you. Come back. Thank you.
Exactly. And they got Cody Ford.
Gesicki, 3-year, 25.5.
Still re-signed Tanner Hudson.
It's all re-signed or wants to get traded. Like that's their whole fucking. It's the whole page. It's just crazy.
And they're telling people that T. Higgins isn't available, even though T. Higgins is like, I want a fucking contract. And then, meanwhile, they're seeking a big compliment to Chase Brown. So is Samaje Perine what they like? Is Samaje Perine this big compliment that they're thinking of? Because that,
well, they're just like
say he is.
No, they're just like we love Chase Brown, and Samaje can pass block. So they're like that's basically what he exists for. Which is just like okay, cool.
And they're still not even close in extension talks for Jamar Chase.
Yeah, because all they had to do was extend him last offseason, and there would be no issues. But this motherfucker just had the receiver triple crown. So his value just went up so much. And now you're fucked even more. It's crazy.
Makes no sense. Shaq here says the Bengals need a ton of pieces on defense and line of scrimmage. Also, the way their front office has handled the players has been atrocious, and I just see a mirror of the 24 season all over again. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like so far. And let's not forget, in those report card things, they got like an F- for how they treat players' families. And I remember reading, it said, like some places have they're one of like 10 teams that don't have daycare, childcare for players. And then they're also one of like 10 teams that don't have a designated like room area for family. But they're the only team in the NFL that doesn't have either one of them. And there was just like the treatment of like different players and like I think it was like their travel, and then also their food was also like super low graded. So I don't know what the hell Cincinnati's doing from any level of the franchise.
Well, and it's great. Like they don't know, and that's why it's just gotten so bad. Is like just constantly disappointing everybody, and I don't know where they go from here because it is literally just going to end up with all these. It's going to be a Niners situation. Like all these players are going to leave. They're all going to leave, which is really bad. So,
yep. So they're just, it's just literally trending. treading water. So with that being said, oh yeah, Rico Dowdle's not returning to the Cowboys since the Javonte Williams signing. And like honestly, Rico Dowdle was playing pretty well for Dallas at the end of the season. So I think he could go on somewhere where if he just is like the change of pace guy, he could probably play really well somewhere. But with that being said, yeah, Travarius Ward signed with the Colts. They got him for a 3-year, $60 million deal with $35 million guaranteed and a $20 million signing bonus. That's some money right there. I mean, the Colts definitely need to help with their defense. That's for sure. They also added Cam Bynum. So, I mean, they're doing stuff.
They are actually doing things, yes.
I don't hate it.
Let's see what else we got.
Mac Hollins heading to New England. I mean, it's not bad for New England because their wide receiver room was just like they had like 35 wide receivers, and maybe one of them could actually catch a football.
Yes.
So adding anybody that knows how to catch a football in that room is probably your best bet.
Yeah, so Drake May doesn't have to run 20 rushes a game.
Exactly. Oh, Shaq said the formula has always been do your negotiating early and reward your stars. You keep the players, fans, and organization happy when you do it that way.
Yep.
Exactly. And he says the Colts are slowly building a pretty decent defense here. Ward, Franklin, Bynum, Buckner, maybe Indy won't be irrelevant this year. I don't think they will be irrelevant. And to be honest with you, I don't think they were that irrelevant this past year. It was just like because they were competitive in a lot of games. Their offense just couldn't do a damn thing because Anthony Richardson couldn't stay healthy, but also couldn't throw to his own team.
And he was too sleepy.
And Joe Flacco came in and was Joe Flacco for a couple games, and then he turned into old Joe Flacco. So, yeah, the offense couldn't really move anything. Jonathan Taylor was hurt here and there. So, it just all wasn't great for them.
I just think my favorite post I've seen about the Pats, it's at the top. It says expectation, and it's a picture of Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Ayuk, Chris Godwin, and Cooper Kupp, and then at the bottom it says reality, and it's just Mac Hollins. I'm like, yeah,
sounds about right.
That's fair.
Commanders talking to Michael Gallup, which like honestly wouldn't be bad, especially now that you have Debo and Scary Terry. Diami Brown moved on, so I mean, not a terrible move if that's what happens. Darius Slayton stays with the Giants. He's been like their only consistent player for the longest time.
True that.
The whole Cooper Kupp situation, I think, is interesting. Like, they still haven't found a trade. However, my thing is, if news is leaked that you're going to release him if you don't find a trade, why would anybody trade something then?
They're like, we can just get him.
Right.
Like,
let me just risk getting him off of waivers or paying more than the other team instead of trading something of value. So I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that.
Patriots aren't doing too bad right now. I'm actually realizing. I like what they're doing here. They signed Carlton Davis, so they have another guy across from Christian Gonzalez at corner, which is honestly pretty awesome. Obviously, they signed Milton Williams, and I have to show this now because this is the stupidest shit I've ever read in my life. Ever. I hit share and it didn't do here. Add to stage. It's not showing anything. Share this tab instead. It's not doing the things I need. All right.
Hold on, let me try this. Share it again. Maybe. Oh, there
Boom.
it is.
So we're going to zoom in here, or I'm going to try to zoom in here, so we can just read this. I'll read this out loud. Milton Williams is now the highest paid player in Patriots franchise history. New England was going heavy in the DT market regardless, and they come out with its biggest prize. Tom Brady had been number one at $25 million per year. Yep.
What?
Yep. And then I love this top comment because it just sums it up. It's like, why were the Patriots so good for so long? Because fucking Brady was not trying to extort the team. He was trying to make the team good. But that literally blew my mind. I was just like, there's how?
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, but there we are. It's like, am I going to even pretend to be surprised that he went away from the Eagles for when that's like how it worked out? No, because that's crazy. And the Eagles couldn't have paid him that anyway. So
yeah, that's true. They also got Morgan Moses.
that's what I mean. They just be out here signing people.
Yeah, the Harold Landry signing, that was a good one that you and I were talking about that on Instagram.
Their phones have been on fire.
Seriously, they really have been doing a pretty good job so far. And I mean, that's the thing. You have the quarterback that you think is going to get your team to that next level. So at that point, you might as well start making some moves if you got that starting piece already.
And I do think they were in on like a bunch of other receivers. It's just it didn't work out. The deals they had, they apparently had a package in place, I think, with Seattle. It was like 4 years, 120 is what they were offering DK, and he wanted that one extra year or whatever.
Okay.
And then obviously the Steelers offered a second, whereas I think New England offered a third and a sixth.
Got you.
And that's why it went to Pittsburgh. But like they've clearly been trying. It's not like they were sitting on their hands with the receivers, because obviously they've gone nuts kind of everywhere else. But it's changing their draft outlook to me to think, yes, they could now really be interested in a receiver early. Like, which I think would be a great idea, but
probably go running back at some point too.
Well, because they brought in Vrabel up there to So like, I know how he felt about AJ Brown, about having a number one. And when AJ got traded, he was already kind of pissed the fuck off. So it's like, he's going to want to have that number one for Drake May. So it wouldn't shock me at all if their first round pick was a receiver.
Yeah. Yep. And that Shaq's saying the same thing. They've been very active, very good on their signings. Plus, the pick they have in the draft could land them the number one receiver or corner or whatever their heart desires. Yeah, that's true. The Cam Bynum deal was a 4-year, $60 million deal, by the way. But then, Zach Wilson going to Miami. Texans getting Justin Watson. I mean, I don't hate that for Houston, especially just because of all the injuries they've dealt with. Oh, that's what I meant to say. I did like that the Patriots got Robert Spillane.
Yeah.
That was a really nice signing from them. And then the good old Cleveland Browns getting Kenny Pickett for DTR. Oh my god. And a 5th round. Wait, what did San Fran get for Debo? Was it a 5th or a 6th?
5th.
So Kenny went for the same draft capital as Debo.
Yep. I love it. I love it here. Other ones, the Buccaneers didn't do crazy amount, but they signed Ben Bredesen. Who's a guard. Obviously, got to protect our boy. Of
course.
Hassan Reddick signs for 1 year, $14 million, and he plans to, I believe, actually show up and do his fucking job this year. Bitch.
Well, that's a change.
Thought you were cool when we brought you here. You're gonna be a hometown dude, and you turned out to be a pussy. So how you doing? And I love this though. They re-signed Chris Godwin, 3 years, $66 million. They are not worried. Yes, it's like they are not worried that he got hurt. What they care about is they want his loyalty to the team. See, Shaq, I like the signing. I just don't like the player. I fully agree. 1 year, $14 million for a guy who has the potential of Hassan Reddick is great.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what the hell is he actually going to look like, because this last year was just so dramatic. And
it was stupid.
So Khalil Mack returns to the Chargers. Okay.
As a dynasty fantasy football player who had Hassan Reddick, I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say I love what the Broncos are doing though.
Yep.
Hufanga, DJ Jones. They were talking to, I don't know if it went anywhere, but they were talking to Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I see it right here.
If they could get Evan Ingram, that would be pretty huge for them. And then what else? Oh, they kept Gerrit Stidham.
Hooray. The franchise is saved.
They talked about having high expectations for Drew Sanders and him being a permanent part of their linebacker room. They're discussing an extension with Cortland Sutton. So I like what they've been doing so far. Oh, look at that. Could try to sign Zach Bond in free agency.
Shaq, I think he uses Sleeper for Dynasty.
What do you play Dynasty on? I've been meaning to try. I've used Yahoo and ESPN for years, but something long-term would be pretty cool. Yeah, I do use Sleeper. I do suggest Sleeper for Dynasty. Honestly, any type of fantasy football, I really like Sleeper, and I really like their user interface. You can really do any type of football league on Sleeper. They also have Best Ball. Tom and I did Best Ball this past year on there. They also have, I think they have those Reaper leagues, actually. I've never tried it, but the Reaper leagues sound really cool. For those that don't know, it's the one where I think it's the lowest scoring person of that week. They get eliminated from the league, and all of their players go into the free agent pool.
Okay.
And each week it just goes like that, where someone gets eliminated. And then they have Dynasty, and then they just have regular redraft, same, like just regular leagues, and keeper leagues, because that's like that in between. But yeah, Dynasty on Sleeper is a very good time. If we get enough interest, we could start one, like us two, Shaq, and then find some people and do a startup draft. I would be down with that. So Shaq, if you know people that want to do Dynasty, we can definitely get that going. Or if anyone else is watching and you want to do Dynasty, jump in the chat, let us know. We can get a league going. But yeah, outside of that, the Broncos had some going. Houston got Braxton Berrios as well. Sheldon Rankins return. Shaq says, I'd love to do a league with you guys. Yeah, man, we're down. I mean, even if we don't end up getting this Dynasty league down, we can just like jump into like a public league or something. I'm sure we could find something. Jaguars get Nick Mullins. Oh yeah, Kinlaw goes to the Commanders. Not bad. I mean, and the Commanders adding Laramie Tunsil. The Commanders have been doing a decent job so far. They've gotten a good bit of people to shore up their roster as well. Panthers did a little something. They got Patrick Jones, Trayvon Morig. I think they got. I was pretty sure the Panthers got somebody else recently too, but I don't remember who.
Well, they re-signed J.C. Horn to like a giant deal.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
he's like the highest paid defensive back in football now.
Yeah, I mean J.C. Horn is a beast.
Yeah, you just don't hear about shit because that team was so bad. Obviously, I love the way they finished with Bryce Young coming back and actually balling, which was great to see. But
I really hope he takes another step.
Same. I just he seems like such a good guy. It's like I want to see that kid succeed.
Yeah.
Von Miller
Shaq-
released by Buffalo. Go ahead.
Shaq said he heard rumors about Houston not wanting to bring back Diggs. All speculation, but curious to see where that goes. I mean, he's on the older side for a receiver and had a major injury. It wouldn't be surprising if they moved on from him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, I mean, neither here nor there, I guess. Packers sign Aaron Banks. Bears bring in Grady Gerrit. Joshua Palmer heading to Buffalo. Curious to see how that goes.
See if his hands actually come with him. If he ever had any to begin with.
I doubt it.
Same.
If Seattle signed Sam Darnold while they still had the receiving core they had, I would have been happier for Seattle.
Oh, yeah. Because now it's JSN and, like, who knows?
Exactly. So, I guess probably draft somebody, maybe look into, Cooper Kupp or somebody, but, I doubt Cooper Kupp because it seems like they're going the youth route.
Watch them sign Stephon Diggs. I'd be like, okay.
Then it'd be like, all
sense
right.
to me right now, guys.
Derek Barnett going back to Houston. Oh yeah, Vikings signed former Eagle there, Isaiah Rodgers. Oh, DJ Reed going to Detroit. That was a solid signing from Detroit.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot for them. Shaq says my favorite team this offseason has been Chicago. Feels like they made all the right moves. Yes. So we were talking about that too. Chicago made a bunch of the right moves in terms of shoring up their offensive line. There was a lot of things they needed to do, and offensive line was the biggest of what they needed because their defense was decent. Their run game could probably be decent, but you just never knew what they could actually do because their offensive line was so bad. So them getting offensive line help and signing some pretty big names and trading for pretty big names is huge for them. I agree with you, Shaq. They've been doing really well so far. Let's see. Dan Moore to the Titans, the Steelers' former offensive lineman. Jimmy G went back with the Rams to stay as their backup. Oh yeah, Khalil Mack returning to the Chargers. That was pretty good for them as well. Yeah, so we've pretty much gotten a lot of the big ones.
I think, yeah, after that, it's just speculation and then releases from the day before.
Yeah, so that's kind of been the roundup. Josh Allen with his, obviously, record-setting deal. Eagles expecting a 4th-round pick for Dallas Goedert. So,
breaking news. The 49ers are releasing Kyle Juszczyk.
Really?
Yes, they are.
For what?
Because they're just... I wish I knew, man. At this point, I wish I knew what was going on with that team.
As a former Raven, I mean, I love Pat Ricard too. So I was about to say I'd take Juice back, but Pat Ricard is a beast too. So
this is literally crazy. And this
the
is on a
Ravens love their
page.
fullbacks.
This is on a page that just 1 hour ago had released a post saying, chronicling how many players have left the Niners. And it literally, there's 10 players on it, and it's like, just edit it and add him too. Like, holy crap.
Damn.
I just don't get it. Oh, I
don't understand what their direction is right now.
Here's this picture. I thought this was quite funny. I was like, that's fair.
That is fair. Didn't they give Gino a huge contract too?
It was decent size, yeah. I think. Let me go ahead and I'll just
I
get the
feel like I
details
saw
fast. Um,
like 70 million.
Yeah, 3 years, 75,
Yeah,
with
that's
40 of that guaranteed. So it's like you're set.
yeah.
I know he wanted more, but it's like you're not going to get it because you're like the Seahawks as a team this past season were just like not that great, and you had receivers, so it's like that people are going to be a little scared, and obviously that's how it played out. So
right.
the other, this is yes, Shaq, exactly what I said. I opened Insta on my computer, and the first thing right in my face was Niners are releasing use check, and it was like 30. It said 30 seconds ago, like just posted, and I was like, what the fuck? I just
Yeah.
imagine being Kittle right now, man. I mean, you got to be sitting here like, what's happening to my team? Like,
Exactly.
and Trent Williams, they're probably Trent Williams might crash out and burn Levi Stadium to the ground because he is insane. But
I mean, at this point, they're probably going to trade him too.
For real. This is non-football, but this is obviously big news in sports in general.
Damn.
I feel horrendous for Gerrit Cole. This sucks because he's going to miss off this full season and probably most of next season. That's how this surgery goes for pitchers, especially he throws gas, so it is a case of his rehab will take longer. That sucks. And
that really sucks.
Hearts out to Gerrit Cole. I hope the surgery goes well, bud, because fuck. And then I'll bring this one up too.
Especially hate hearing that like before the season even starts.
It's like I'm happy that they're doing it before the season starts. They didn't try to like push through it. He didn't try to push through it. The team didn't tell him to push through it, and that they're just going to be like, yeah, no, you need it, get it done. Like,
yeah.
From that side, I can respect it. This one I wanted to bring up just because obviously the A's have been going through some shit for a while now. They're moving to Vegas. We know that. I just saw the rendering of the stadium they're going to build. It looks amazing. And this guy is going to be a big part of their future. And they signed him to a 7-year, $65.5 million deal. And I remember seeing it and being like, they didn't pay enough. And I think they're going to realize they got a bargain in about a year. And hopefully Butler doesn't start talking some bullshit about pay me more.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
He's fun to watch. He goes out there and has fun. So.
Oh yeah, no, he's really fun to watch. I agree. But with that being said, we can do another quick mock draft real quick.
That works.
Let me pull that up. There we go. So I'm going to up the randomness again a little bit. And we're going to keep draft for needs there. We're going to move that up a little bit. And then we're going to do half and a half here, public versus PFF board. All right. So.
Oh, breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's just a re-signing, but Chase Young re-signing with the Saints for 3 years, $51 million. 17 a year. That's high, but it's not crazy high.
It's
a little interesting.
It is interesting.
You think about that market now. Gerrit just got 40 a year, so 17 is like whatever, but he just underperforms, which is why it's like I would have thought 14 a year.
Yeah.
But maybe they structured it in a way that the cap hit's not bad, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that move.
Yeah.
All right. So before we start the actual mock draft, Shaq says they can have him. Young wasn't on my board since his rookie year. Do you think the Titans trade out of the first pick?
Yes.
Who do you think they trade with?
Who's picking at 9? Who's picking at 9?
9 is the Saints, 10 is the Bears. I know you did say that you had a hunch last episode that the Raiders would trade up.
Yeah, and then they just got Geno and signed his ass. So now I'm like, I don't know, because
True.
that just changed things a little bit. But it's like, because you know what I mean? If you're going to take a QB number 1 overall, that dude is starting.
Oh, yeah.
In my mind, that guy's starting. I mean, you had the weird case with the Eagles with Wentz where he wasn't told he was starting until, oh my God, Shaq. They said Chase Daniel's going to start, and then the season comes around. They're like, actually, Chase Daniels sucks dick. And then he's on TV now talking mad mess. It's just like, okay, bud. I love that Abdul Carter at the combine was like, sorry, Philly, I'm not going to tank my draft stock for you guys. It's like, but
he knows his audience.
We know you wanna, man. Get over here. If a team was, if what is here, if any of these teams were going to do it, it would be the Jets, I think.
Okay.
Realistically, just because of the QB need and the fact that pick 7 is not that far down.
Well, hold on.
I'm like, go ahead.
The Jets did just sign Justin Fields.
I know, but they signed him cheap.
True.
So that's my, like, that's kind of who. All right, can you just scroll down to the draft list? I want to see, like, this is what I mean. It's like it takes fucking forever to get to another team that needs quarterback.
Yeah, it's like all the way down to the Steelers.
Yeah, and it's like you're not, if you're trading pick 21 for pick 1, you're also sending like 8 other picks. Like the package for that would have to be,
and they already traded
giant.
They already traded their second round for a DK.
Yeah, so I mean, we're talking like years in advance. They're trading picks down the line, like the way the Rams did years ago. But
my thought is maybe the Giants trade up to take Cam Ward
and block the Browns.
Yeah.
Of what is literally here, that is what would make the most sense if a trade was to occur. But I think the landscape of what free agency has, like what's happened so far, makes a trade maybe less likely now. But if we're going to do one, this would be the one that makes sense.
Do you think they trade number 3 and what else?
I would say 3, 2 next year, and then do like 104, and then Tennessee's 119.
Okay.
And then you just do like a little swap arena there.
Let's see. Shaq says, realistically, I see it as well. Joe Schoen has emphasized they'll do whatever it takes to get a quarterback either through free agency or the draft. Yeah, so.
But he's also emphasized that you're not going to pay a guy $40 million to hand off to a guy making $20 million. And he was fucking wrong.
So that's why there's no teams doing Hard Knocks again, because nobody wants to be exposed like that. Isn't that fun? So that is documented for the rest of fucking history. It's my favorite.
I know, that's amazing.
All right. If we're forcing them number 1, we're going to give him Cam Ward, and it doesn't even matter. And I think, yeah.
So now the Browns.
I mean, I think they take Travis Hunter if he's there. I think there's no way they pass him.
So it's going to be Kenny Pickett throwing to Travis Hunter and Jerry Jeudy.
Oh my goodness, that is.
Which means at that point the Titans are probably still going to get Shador, I feel.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Patriots. See, this is where it gets interesting because I don't think McMillan's that good.
And I don't think Ashton Jeanty is going to go that high.
You know who I might like for them? Because he's just versatile. It's Tyler Warren. I think we all have PTSD about what happens when the Patriots have a good QB tight end duo.
True.
And I mean, yes, Shaq, they could take Shador, or Shador could pull a I don't want to fucking play for you, don't fucking do it. Which
Honestly,
I think is more
think
likely because he's a
I was about
diva,
to say,
but
honestly, I think it's more likely that Shador says, I'm not coming to fucking Cleveland.
yeah, it's kind of that's where my head was at with that Travis Hunter pick. And I think he'll get picked. Hunter will get picked there, and Shador will just send him a text saying, I'm so sorry. And that, yeah. What are your thoughts on the Patriots, though? What do you think they do? A line to protect the homie?
I could see them go Will Campbell.
I could too. It's just like, how bold do they want to be?
However, I think they would go
Abdul because he's there.
Yeah. If they're at 4 and Abdul's still available, I feel like you just say fuck it, we're going Abdul Carter.
That's fair. I think we can live with that. Cool. Okay, so center, guard, defensive lineman, and corner. So Mason Graham.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's Graham or Barron. I think it would be one of the two.
Yeah.
So let's go Mason Graham.
When a player has the last name Graham and they go to Michigan, good things happen. Shout out Brandon Graham.
True. So now you get to the Raiders, where obviously they have
just
the Seahawks.
I know what I want to see. And I know what I need to see. And it's Ashton Jeanty in a fucking Raiders uniform. I need it.
Right.
I need it. In real life, I need it.
That would be amazing for them for sure.
God,
do you think what's his name would get pissed though?
Who?
Josh Jacobs.
I mean, he's not there anymore, so who cares? He'll probably be like, well, it depends on what
I'm sorry,
contract.
not Josh Jacobs.
Fucking yeah, who do they even have now? Zamir White, Madison.
Yeah, Zamir White and Madison. That's what I was thinking of.
Fuck, what's his forehead? The former Nebraska guy, Amir Abdullah. I mean, the Raiders they're going to just hurt feelings now. I think that's what they have to do.
Like, oh yeah,
you're like, if guys are going to like bitch and moan and whine about the way you're going to build the team kind of from the ground up again, then they can just get the fuck out. And that's how the Raiders have to play this. They have to be the hard ass mean team they used to be, which is what made them so good and feared for so long. And that they've lost that in the 2000s as a whole.
100%.
So you get a guy like Jeanty who just plays that kind of physical running style, but also can hit you with some shit. And you pair that with Brock Bowers was the best tight end in football last year, in my mind, as a rookie, which is just bananas. The Jets, to me, I'm just like, the franchise is such a freaking shit show that I don't even know where they start because it's just not good. But I think
with DJ Reed gone, you may go Barron.
But I think oh my God. Yeah, I think you're probably right. You have to immediately replace that if you can't find it in free agency. And if they don't, I think Will Johnson's going to fall further than that too, actually, because he didn't go to the combine and then he was going to do his pro day and he got hurt before the pro day. So I think you just go that top top corner.
I think you go Barron.
Yeah. And these guys, you could go. Yeah, that's such a reach though for safety. I was
agree.
like, you could go Starks here, but I don't know why it says they don't. Do they Do they really not need offensive line at all?
That's a good question.
Or a receiver? Like, yeah, okay. See, okay, this is where McMillan should go then, at least in my head, because I'm like, unless you're reaching for James Pierce Jr., which everyone at the combine said he comes off as an arrogant prick with no work ethic. Like,
yeah, I would
you're
go
not
McMillan too,
you're not doing that shit. Yeah,
especially because you're not sure how long. Um, what's his name is the white guy
well, you're feeling.
Thielen. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not sure how long he's going to be healthy.
Yeah, well, it's like he's not young, so it's like you have Leggett as your young receiver,
Right.
so you could like add to that, and McMillan, like he offers a lot of promise. I don't think he should be the number one receiver in this draft, but he will be probably.
Right.
But yeah, I think it would make sense to give Bryce a guy.
I think they go Tyler Warren, the Saints.
I do too. That's a really good fit.
Shaq says Najee Harris officially to the Chargers, by the way, which is a solid pickup for the Chargers. I like it.
It's just the Bears. You know what? Because I just literally credit to them for having a good free agency so far. But they're going to make a mistake at some point, and that mistake is going to be James Pierce Jr.
Okay.
That is what that mistake is going to be.
Now the Niners, who need everything.
Yeah, the needs is not long enough. That is just not it.
If Will Campbell's still there, I feel like
he's got to go here. He's got to go here.
Yeah.
There's just no chance. Another team that needs fucking everything. Give him Mike Green.
Mike Green. I was gonna say they could also reach for Omarion Hampton, but since they did just sign Javonte Williams, maybe they just figure,
Ooh, okay, Shaq. I like where your head's at there. You're not wrong.
San Fran trading up. I could see it.
I could see them definitely jumping somebody.
You said Mike Green for Dallas?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't. One thing I will give credit to Dallas for is they don't miss on edge guys very often.
True. But they usually do have a good pass rush.
Miami. They need everything.
They do. They need a safety and a tackle, and Membo's still there.
I feel like tackle's more logical because Tua's brain is made of fucking jello.
Yeah. Should we go Membo or Josh Simmons?
Maybe Josh Simmons, actually. I think Ohio State pedigree will bump him up a little bit.
I think so, too. Oh, he had a pretty good grade in 2024, 74.4.
He improved every year. His pass block grade was his grade was really good. What is that? Okay. What is that jump, my guy? Gave up no sacks, only 8 hurries. Okay, maybe this dude's maybe he's that dude. Maybe Armand Membu is that dude.
Yeah, let's go. We'll go Membo for them, and then Colts. They also need an edge rusher. I think we might go Donovan, maybe.
Yeah,
they do also actually. They need Will Johnson. DB. Yeah,
or Will Johnson.
I say Will Johnson. Let's do.
They could take the risk on him.
Now the Falcons.
Can we just give them a guy named Jihad because it's funny that he would go to Atlanta and they always get the funny name dudes?
It is. It's pretty funny. He got a pretty good grade too. That's a significant increase from his freshman year.
I was going to say that he had 12 snaps and he graded that bad. It's because he just couldn't even be on the field long enough to get warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he was actually first in coverage stops.
Yeah. Yeah, let's send Jihad to Atlanta because it amuses me a little bit. They'll pass on the Georgia kid, and then the Georgia kid will get pissed.
Oh yeah. Cardinals, they could go D-line with Kenneth Grant, but they just signed D-line, didn't they, from the Eagles?
Well, they signed Edge from the Eagles.
Edge, that's right.
So
they could either go.
They could go Simmons.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could either go Simmons, Grant, guard, they're probably not going to go. There's also Kelvin Banks, who's a tackle.
Click on Simmons. I need to see his size. If it has that. If it doesn't.
6'5", 310.
Huh.
He's a big boy.
Simmons was okay. It says all right, the first sentence of his shit though says 3-star interior O lineman. And then he transferred okay, so he ended up being right tackle and then left tackle.
He did tear his ACL 5 games into 2024.
I think they could take him here though, because if he heals off of that properly, he could be like a steal kind of deal. You know what I mean? You take a guy further down because he was hurt, who has played both tackle positions and interior, so he can literally work anywhere. Because obviously we've seen enough of the midget man running around for his life.
True.
6'4", 320. He's even smaller. I think the Eagles are just fucking spoiled with how gigantic our tackles are.
Oh, I agree. All right, we'll go Josh Simmons.
I think Simmons makes sense here. I think just somebody's going to take him. The Cardinals would be logical for a lot of reasons.
Do we say Donovan for the Bengals?
Yes, we do. Because I think I think Hendrickson will be traded either on draft night or before it, and they will have nothing. And they're going to need it so badly that they don't have a choice.
I would agree with that.
Seattle now has lost 2 wide receivers. They are taking Luther Burden. I will call that right now. You bring in Darnold. He has just JSN to throw to, and I think Burden can fucking ball. Missed tackles forced, tied first. Like he is a good football player. And I'm ignoring my initial rule that a guy's last name can tell you a lot about how he's going to be, and his name being Burden is let's hope he is not one. But I think literally the Seahawks need to show Darnold that they give a shit, and they need to show the fan base that they're not fully going away from having an offense that can win games, because at the moment that's what it feels like. But we'll see.
Okay. Shaq, were you saying Grant was a great fit for the Bengals, I'm assuming, because he was D-line? I feel like that's who you were talking about.
That would make sense, too, just to stuff in the middle. But
yeah. For the Bucks.
Linebacker, DB.
Maybe Michael Williams. Shamar Stewart. Jalen Walker is the first linebacker on here. I wonder what people have. John Campbell, Will Johnson, James Pierce Jr., Donovan.
Okay, so they have them doing linebacker over everything else.
Yeah, Michael Williams on this is the only one available on our board. So
we could do that. Okay.
Shaq says, I agree. I thought I was the only one. I've always said if Michael Jordan's last name wasn't Jordan, he wouldn't be as good.
And he was talking about the Bengals. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
That makes sense. Like if they took a guy like that, it would make sense, because they have so many holes though. It's like, as long as whoever they take is actually a good football player, it's a win for them.
They need the entire defensive line.
It's insane. Okay.
Then we get to the Broncos.
Denver is a team that, honestly, I like where they already are.
I mean, I don't think they need a safety anymore because they just got Hufanga.
Yeah. So maybe we do Egbuka?
They could do Egbuka.
He's a stud. I mean, it's like, I know he's projected late first, or Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden's
still
that
there.
Dude's he's a beast.
I mean, Omarion Hampton.
Ooh. I don't despise that.
Running back.
I don't despise that, because their running back room is kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that? That actually would be kind of fun.
I think that could actually be pretty interesting.
I think he would have one of the best-selling jerseys of any of the rookies, too. I think they'd love him.
Yeah.
6'1", 220. Has plenty of college experience. I mean, we're talking, 38 games?
Yep.
All he did
Over
was get better.
1,500 yards in the past 2 seasons.
Does catch a fair amount of passes.
10th in missed tackles forced.
2nd yards after contact. 4th and 15-plus carries. Only 2 drops. Which
Even
only 2 drops.
37th in yards per route run.
Only 2 drops for running back is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want any
Elusive
drops,
rating is
but
super high up there.
well, that was like the difference because there's apparently some scouts who like Hampton over Jaunty.
Right.
And I have to call him Jaunty for the rest of my life. It's just funny. Yeah, let's take Hampton here. Honestly, I think you're trying to build around your franchise future, which is Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Why not?
Steelers, I don't think would go wide receiver here anymore.
Okay. Can we trade them back?
We can do that.
Okay.
It's saying 2 teams are interested in pick 21, being Minnesota and the Rams.
Why would the Rams be interested in 21?
I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, they're the only 2 teams we can even like.
No, we can force a trade to anybody, but
okay.
It's just
Here's my thought. We are going to trade them back with Buffalo at 30.
Okay.
So we're going to do 30 for 21. Buffalo will send them 62. And let's do a 3rd next year. Yeah, I like that.
All right. So who does Buffalo take?
Buffalo, who, in my opinion, still could use receiver help.
Oh, yeah.
To
Takes Igbuka.
Every extent will take Igbuka here.
Okay, I could see that.
Like
I like that.
Josh Allen is a bill for life. We know that now. Like that's I feel set in stone. And you don't ever want to make him think you're not giving him a team that can win.
Right.
And Mac Hollins and him did have a lovely chemistry. Shaq, I fully agree.
I agree with that too, Shaq.
I am of the opinion it's like if you give him a good running back too, so he does not have to shoulder the whole offense, and the fact that Hampton can catch too, it's like I think that would just be fire. Like that would be a fun team to watch. Because it already was. Chargers. So running back is gone. They signed Harris. They have Dobbins still, right? So
I think they go Matthew Golden.
I think they go Matthew Golden. They just let Josh Palmer leave. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is how a lot of drafts go. You'll have mini runs on a position. We've seen that time and time again.
Yep. Last year with quarterback.
Yep. And then Green Bay is the team that's going to get cucked by it because receivers dry up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they could go
everything they need.
If they need edge, they could go Shamar Stewart.
This would make sense for Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, I think so too. Out of the people, because then they don't need a tackle; they need a center. I don't think they reach for Scourton.
Are they teammates too? Like they're both A&M, right? Yeah, Scourton and Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
So if you have one guy that's graded that much higher in the same program, you're taking that guy. Like
yes. Yep. Graded pretty
actually,
high.
Let's see the other homie because I'm curious now. Oh, he is higher for 2 years straight.
Yeah, he is. And his pass rush win rate is higher.
How about sacks? He has 8 and 4.
And Shamar has 5 and 4.
Bum. Get Scourton. 100%.
Okay.
Bum. Get that other bum out of here.
Minnesota looking for running back, guard, defensive line, cornerback. I think they go Kenneth Grant.
I think they go Kenneth Grant. Semi-local, not exactly local, but semi-local. Easier to scout.
Yeah. And I feel like he's probably, let's see, 80, 83. Damn. Good amount of hurries, sacks.
Sacks for
Run-
D-line in
Run
college.
stop rate, pretty nice.
All his rates are really like up there. It's pretty good. Yeah.
And if you go against like Derek Harmon, I mean, Harmon's still pretty up there.
Holy, he's got 2 maxed out true pass set rush. And he had 5 sacks and 43 hurries last year. That dwarfs homeboy's numbers. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
5.
and Oregon was in the Big Ten this year.
Maybe. Yeah, let's take this guy. This is more fun.
All right. Derek Harmon it is.
Same conference, and he did better. Like,
All right, then I'm saying Kenneth Grant goes to Houston.
yeah, yes, that I would fully. That's fine.
So, the Rams got to take Kelvin Banks.
Yeah.
At this rate.
That's
yeah.
fair. All right,
Then
I'll
the
let you.
Ravens.
I'll let you cook because I have a hunch that the
I mean,
Ravens.
Shamar Stewart, like
Here-
they.
I have a hunch that if the Ravens are still sat at pick 27 at this time, and there's nobody they're in love with, like I would not be at all surprised if they traded out of the first round
I wouldn't be either.
for a couple seconds, and then you can get like a second round receiver and a second round edge. You know what I mean? Like you could try
Yeah.
and build that. And if you want to pick a guy, go for it. But
I'm gonna say something pretty freaky here
okay, let him go.
because this is gonna be out of left field.
I'm ready.
And I'm saying this because the Ravens have surprised me in plenty of ways before. I think I'm going to go. Where the hell are they? Dallas.
Okay.
Is going to trade
Oh boy.
Michael Parsons. They're going to get 27. They're going to get 59. And a second next year. And we'll do seconds for the next 2 years.
And then would you want to have the Ravens get pick like 44 or 76 so they still have a pick in this year's draft, or just not at all?
Yeah, we'll do 76.
Yeah. I like what I'm seeing here.
This would be insane, and I don't think this is actually going to happen.
Jerry Jones would probably actually just have a heart attack on the phone, and the deal would never go through.
He probably would.
You want what? Done.
And then, so Dallas at this point, they're in this spot.
Take Shamar Stewart.
Yes, Texas guy.
Yep, he's cooking. My man's cooking. Let's go.
As a Ravens fan, I'd be all in.
Oh, brother, everybody would be. And he'd be like, yay. And then Mike would be like, yay, I live closer to Philly. I'm almost an Eagle.
Exactly. And he would be like, oh, I'm on a much better team now.
All right. Did we do Jalen Walker here? Or do we do
who else?
Ooh, okay. I think all right. I already know who I think Washington's going to take based on a guy they lost.
Okay.
So I think
I think we go Jalen Walker.
They need linebacker. Georgia's been putting out good players.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I would fully expect if he is somehow still on the fucking board at this point, Malachi Starks. Jeremy Chin
Oh,
just signed somewhere else today, so they need a
Agree with
safety.
that. Let me get the
QB
Steelers again.
Jackson Dart.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's gonna come a point where a team gets fucking nervous, and besides Milrow, look at his average draft position. I know that's low. I don't think he's gonna last till fucking day 3, brother. I don't think there's a chance in hell. I don't think there's a chance in fucking hell. I think it's going to be the same bullshit we see every year where a QB gets reached for so fucking far.
I'm not going to lie. If we're going based off last names, Jackson Dart for a quarterback?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's fucking crazy. And yo, that jersey, even as a non-Steelers fan, that jersey would go hard.
That jersey's gonna go hard. I want one, bro.
I think the Chiefs, Gray Zabel, maybe. Oh wait, what does Shaq say? Starks might actually land in Washington. Considering
do we agree? Yeah, we're agreeing, which I fully agree. Really fucking hope not. Especially since he's a Georgia guy, he belongs in Philly. We know this.
So Chiefs could go Zabel, Demetrius Knight. They need a linebacker. You need a tap. Ooh, I think they go Connerly.
Ooh, those grades are meh. How's the other guy?
Zabel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're going him 90.4.
Yeah, his grades are better, but he also did play at North Dakota State.
You're right. How big is he? Let's do the first look. Let's see.
Let's see, 6'6", 305.
Versus
Connerly is 6'4", 315.
I'd rather 6'6", I think.
Yeah.
I think and just the rate of improvement is the other thing too. Like they're big jumps in grades every single year.
That's true.
That's a great sign. It's a guy that can be developed, and Washington obviously is fucking this is KC. Like they love being able to develop people.
Yeah, and his pass block grade being a 93
is just They're gonna value that over anything after the way that their line got manhandled.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you cook now.
The beloved Eagles. So, damn, this is just all right. This is the Trey Hendrickson trade. Fuck it. Start cooking that up. This is where it's got to happen. And I think since he has the higher second rounder, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be the Eagles' first two. So do 32 and 64, and then swap with 49. Because I think a first rounder for Trey Hendrickson is honestly enough.
True.
And then you do the pick swap, so that the Eagles are still actually picking. And then actually for the don't click it yet. For the Eagles, do 129. That'll be the last part. And then we're good.
All right. So then who does Cincinnati take?
They take,
let's see, wide receiver wise, Aya Manor is still there. Jack Beck.
Who did we take with their first one? What position? I can't remember. Edge or
Edge, yes.
I think they go D-line. I think they double down.
You think they go Alexander or Nolan? I
think Nolan.
Ooh.
That's a really good grade.
90.1. Let's see, 6'4", 310.
That's a fucking big boy in the middle. Let's see.
And then
Nolan here. Similar grade. Similar sacks and hurries.
6'3", 305.
He big too. I'll take Ole Miss over Toledo.
All right.
And I know that doesn't mean much because obviously Quinyon went to fucking Toledo, and I shouldn't disrespect them like that because that man is amazing. But God, if the draft goes like this, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fucking.
Yeah, this would be pretty crazy.
Because I think from the Eagles' perspective, really, like the way I'm looking at it is you're picking 32nd, and I know Howie is not going to want to just be there.
Right.
So, like, And I could see that too, Shaq. If they traded up to get Starks, I would fucking hell yeah. But I don't know how many years in a row we're going to keep this Georgia thing rolling. But I just think about a guy like Trey Hendrickson. It's like he's tasted what it's like to be in a Super Bowl and only regressed since, as a team, whereas he has been playing his best football. And then you see a team like the Eagles. Like if they asked him, a short list of teams you would want to be traded for, there's no way in hell the Eagles aren't on that list. So, and then for Cincy, it gives them just more to work with.
That's true.
And on cheaper rookie deals, like guys you're drafting, and because they're in such a cap destroyed situation, it kind of works for both. The Eagles get a guy that's already NFL proven at an elite level that comes in and fills a need that just opened up right now. And then the Bengals have a chance to get more players that are high-end draft talent for cheaper, which is like, it just makes sense. I think the Eagles, there's no way they're sitting at 32. I don't know where they're going to trade to. There's just no fucking way. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I see them making some sort of move.
So
I also don't see them just sitting there. Shaq actually added on to his comment, said, but with Rodgers and Slay gone, maybe Starks isn't looking so bad right now. Yeah, I mean, it's true.
The other report I saw was apparently the Eagles really are high on Keely Ringo, which is why they didn't even really talk to Isaiah Rodgers that much, as far as I can tell. And then once they released Slay, they were just kind of okay letting him go. And I love Slay, and he had an amazing year, played amazing in the playoffs, and it was a hell of a way to end his Eagles career. But even his comments after getting cut, I'm just like, okay. It's
it was
fine.
So unnecessary.
It was so stupid. Like you firsthand witnessed two of the best QB performances in Super Bowl history by Jalen Hurts, and you're still not going to call him elite. Like, just kiss my dick, bro. And then, and at that point, I'm like, you gave us everything you had. I'll fully appreciate you as a player, but you already said you're probably going to retire after next year. It's like, why give you like some double-digit mil deal when you could just probably fill it in for way cheaper?
Exactly.
And if everybody's just as well coached, it's like, okay, you could find comparable performance from a guy like Keely Ringo because he's shown that he can play. Yes, precisely, Shaq. Precisely.
Yeah, he said I would be as shocked as I was for the Luka trade if the Eagles stay at 32. Yeah.
Because you think about it, it's like last year the Eagles stayed put because they could. Because the way the draft went ahead of their pick was just so not what anyone expected that their guy fell in their lap. And then in the second round, they traded up to get Cooper DeJean. That's where they made their move, where they were like, we know we need to go and get him. And thank Christ, because imagine what the Eagles would have been without him. But like even the year we took Jordan Davis, we jumped the Ravens.
Right.
To get him because we were like that. And then you guys got Kyle Hamilton, which it worked out, I think, both teams.
That was fine with me.
But then they waited at 30, whatever the hell. I think they had 30 that year and got Nolan Smith. So like, even in years where we stayed put on one, we made a move somewhere else is the point I'm trying to make. So it's like 32 is just not a spot Howie wants to be in. He wants a guy who is like top 20 caliber, or he's going to fall back, get more draft capital for another year or this year, but whatever. So he's going to be on the phone a lot, I think. And I'm excited for the Eagles production team on YouTube to release that video.
Oh, yeah.
Last year's was so amazing.
That should be interesting.
It's just going to be him running around and Jeffrey Lurie looking at him like, you okay?
I am very curious to see how the Ravens' first round goes this year at the very least, because the last 3 first rounds have been amazing for the Ravens. I mean, Nate Wiggins last year, Zay Flowers the year before, and Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum the year before that.
No misses.
So, like, I'm very curious to see how that goes. the late round picks in recent seasons haven't been as great for them, but yeah, that first round pick has usually been very good. So we'll see how that ends up. But
I think with the Eagles, it is just a point of like Howie has been on such a roll. It's honestly mind blowing. Like he's had a couple years where you look at the whole year and you go, okay, you did not have a good time with this. Like 2018 was, we only had 5 picks, but those 5 picks were Dallas Goedert, Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, and Jordan Mailata, and then Matt Pryor, but he's gone. Like you take Mailata on 0 NFL experience, because Stout had met him and said I can do things with this guy. Obviously, Maddox, despite the injuries, has been very serviceable when he's called upon. Yep. Sweat just got fucking paid, so we know what he is. And then like 2020 is a year Eagles fans really want to forget because the only takeaway from that is Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Everybody else is gone or not even in the league. But from 2021 till now, Mans is not missing. I mean, 2021, it literally the first 3 picks: Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams.
Insane.
And then year after 2022, Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean. Next year, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, who played a lot of O-line this year with injuries, with people hurt, and then Ringo was a 4th rounder, and he's been great. Then this last year, obviously the first 3 all contributed visibly in the Super Bowl and throughout the year, and then Shipley at running back will probably take over for Gainwell. So,
oh yeah,
and then obviously Oren Burks left today, the like 3rd string linebacker.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Oren Burks.
He stepped up huge. He signed elsewhere, so Jeremiah Trotter Jr. now will be slotting into that.
Yep,
it's just like anticipating needs. He's just better than pretty much every GM.
Yeah, he's insane. I gotta give it to him. The guy's insane. I wish the Sixers had a GM like
oh
him.
My god, bro! I wish anybody in that entire fucking franchise had a backbone. It's just like it just pisses me off, man. And even I just saw the fucking clip of Evan Turner before the season started, being like, "Imagine how soft they're gonna be." He's like, he just said Embiid's gonna be hurt, and then he's like, Paul George is gonna be Pauldo. Like, where is he? And he was fucking correct.
Yes, he was. I would go into the whole Daryl Morey thing, but at this point, I'm just like,
no, we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a next week thing because he pissed me off with that quote that he had at a fucking like numbers convention, like for nerds, which really is annoying. And don't get me wrong, I'm a nerd myself, but like, good lord, man. But yeah, with that being said, we can do the grid if you want to jump into that.
Sick. Can I get it up?
Shaq also said, a little off topic, but we lost Burks today. Yep. I'm not sure why, but I'm extremely high on Nakobe for this upcoming year. Absolutely love the effort he puts in. Yeah, I think Nakobe Dean's going to be very good. He's definitely going to be big time for the Eagles.
The birds are on here. Let's go.
Ooh. Eagles first round draft pick.
How far back do I want to go?
Todd Pinkston. No, I'm just kidding.
Donovan McNabb, 1999. How you doing? Jesus. Eagles, Bucks. Oh, he never suited, did he? That's funny. That's the fucking linebacker whose name I'm forgetting from this last year. Devin White. He never actually suited up, I don't think. That's funny. Oh, I got one. Cody Parkey. Bang.
Oh, wow.
Bang.
The double doink.
Yes. I have a picture of my buddy made. It's an edit of Dirty Dancing's cover, and it's Bo Allen holding up Cody Parkey. and it says nobody puts Parkey in a corner. It's funny as fuck. And we got them to sign it.
Amazing.
We got them to sign it, and they were cracking up. It was awesome.
That's hilarious.
Jets and Bears.
Do we want to do Eagles draft pick Freddie Mitchell?
Ooh. Okay. Let him cook.
Wow, I did not expect him to be that low.
He only played like 4 seasons.
True. Shaq said Ben Smith.
Dan Smith, BYU.
Is it Ben Smith for Eagles?
Holy frick. That's horrifying that you know of a player in the history of the league named Ben Smith. It's too late. We can't do it, Shaq. It's too late.
Wait, Shaq, who is that? You were going for first round draft.
Yeah. We're probably slightly delayed.
Probably. Now I gotta look up this Ben Smith.
God, there's some easy ones for Buccaneers.
1990 first round pick.
God. There's like easy, obvious ones for this fucking. LeGarrette Blount, Deshaun Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Probably Josh McCown. That one might actually be really clutch. Hold on.
Josh McCown, I feel like, is a good pull for that one.
That might be goated. Let me just go ahead. I know he's been on every team in the entire NFL. So yeah, he did it. Okay, let's do it. Lock it in.
For the
bang. Look at his hair. Look at his hair, bro. Let's go, Josh. He's
for the 10,000 passing yards, Brad Johnson.
Ooh. He had to have, right?
I think he did.
That's a really amazing pull, and I'm probably doing it, but I'm making sure. Oh, he cleared that shit by 12 billion miles. How you doing, Brad?
Or
8%'s good.
Fine.
It's under double digits.
Yeah. I was gonna say or Byron Leftwich, but
Vinny Testaverde. It counts.
Yeah. 10,000 plus passing yards and first round draft pick. Oh, Byron Leftwich for the 10,000 yards first round draft pick.
Bang!
Fuck yeah!
Hey,
gonna use Leftwich somehow.
Ooh, how many yards did Rex Grossman have? He probably didn't even have 10K. That dude sucked so bad. Let's look it up. I gotta know.
Good old Rex Grossman.
He's going in. He had 10,232.
Wow!
Get in there, Rex.
I did not think he would be up there.
Get in there, Rex. Yes, sir. All right, the easiest one in my head for this is what? Brandon Marshall. So we're not doing that.
Yeah. Bears.
Matt Forte is another one. Ooh, okay. He has
said Blair Thomas for the Jets' first round pick.
Another 90s guy. Bang.
Shaq's got the 90s football knowledge on deck.
Shaq, how old are you, my guy? I have questions now. That man played for 3 years before I was even conceived. So we need to figure out what's going on.
When you put it that way.
Oh, I could do Vinny Testaverde here, couldn't I? Wasn't he a Jet too?
Oh, he was definitely a Jet.
Yeah, he's like most famous for a Jet. God, he played for so fucking long. Jesus Christ. 20 years. Look at this resume. And it's awful.
20 years is insane.
It's an awful resume.
I love how the only two people that have pictures on our grid right now are white guys.
Oh, that's tough. All right, there's two white guys without pictures, so that's good, but still. Holy shit. This is like actually
Shaq, you're only
magical.
24?
Why are you watching so much 90s football, my guy? What's going on?
I thought you
Vinny-
were at least going to be close to our age.
Vinny Testaverde played 21 years, had 275 touchdowns to 267 interceptions. He was 8 picks away from having a 1-to-1 ratio.
That's amazing.
That is impressively shit. Do I want to put Vinny Testaverde here?
Oh, Bears Jets, Matt Forte.
That was one of mine I was thinking of. I was like, let's do it. I like Matt Forte. He deserves some respect. A bald menace.
Will always be immortalized in the famous, I believe it was Rick Ross that said Matt Forte got the bitch running back.
That's fire. I like
I
that.
believe that was Rick Ross.
That's pretty fire. God, Bucks Jets is just like fucking awful. Because I want to think of one that's just obscure. That's making this worse. Did any of Tampa's 18 billion running backs ever end up in New York? Like Ronald Jones II, like any of those guys?
Oh, that's a good question. Also, I was way off. The rap verse I was talking about was Tyga. Anyway,
We don't worry about that.
I feel like there's a tight end.
Oh, but there's probably 15.
Kellen Winslow Jr.
Ooh. Okay,
he does fit.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm trying to see if any of the tight ends from like one of the kind of nope. Good for you being loyal, Cameron Brate. Tampa for all
Forgot
9
about
years of his
Cameron
career.
Brate.
What a guy. Not Shea. God, I forgot LaShawn McCoy was on the Bucks when they won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's when he won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. All right, Kellen Winslow Jr.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. 0.5. Bang.
Damn.
Why is it literally only Jets? What is this
Seriously.
shit? Like, what is this shit? Our 46 on the score, bro.
Yeah, we destroyed that one.
26 of that was Matt Forte. Holy crap.
Shaq says, I always get told I'm much older than I seem. I'm just a guy who loves football, man. Hey, I
Okay.
get it. I get it.
I'm like, I've been super invested in football since I was, I'll say like 8, so 2002. But I know I need to go back and actually like watch a bunch of the Hall of Famers and shit.
Yeah. I mean, that was like me with basketball.
It's just hard to
But-
find. That's
Yeah,
the biggest
exactly.
thing. Is like NFL Films has a ton, but like if you want to watch like games, it's just tough to find.
Exactly. And the only for basketball, the main thing, if it doesn't have Michael Jordan, then it's only on NBA League Pass. If it has Michael Jordan, then you can search that shit anywhere. But Shaq said, I believe James Wilder. Tampa Bay. He was just Tampa Bay. But that's a crazy pull because I've never heard this man's name a day in my life.
I know Deontay Wilder. I don't know this Wilder though. I don't know this one.
Unless you're talking about. Okay, I was about to say because it said his son was in the league, but he never actually suited up for any NFL team. I'm just a huge
Okay.
stat guy for all sports mostly. See, this is Shaq. This is why you gravitated towards our podcast, because that is exactly how we are with sports.
Yeah. Like we absolutely love watching it and we love the hype and everything about it, but we both love the numbers of it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there's such a detail oriented side of sports that's not just sitting down with a beer and watching the game. It's like
Yep.
for me when I watch, I'm very analytical. Like which is why I usually prefer watching alone or with people who are like me because I want to watch the fucking game. I don't want to talk about a bunch of life bullshit when the game is happening. We can do that before or after.
right.
Like, so especially like when the Eagles were playing defense this year, I was just like glued because it was just every play something crazy could happen because that's just how they were. And yeah, anytime like a post would be like, this is how many targets went against Cooper DeJean and this is how many catches, I'm like, I eat that shit up
Oh yeah.
because it's how
That
you
was
can
like
just
that was like when the Sixers were in the playoffs, and my wife was like, "Do you want to go somewhere like to the bar to watch the game?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm sitting right here." Because I swear to
yeah,
God, if I have to sit there and listen to people that are just like, "Oh, you didn't set a pick or you didn't do this," I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
literally. That's how I feel. Like the one sport I will absolutely go and watch is the Flyers. I would love to be around
Oh, that's
people
fun. Yeah.
for the Flyers when they're in the playoffs because I'm just as psycho as those people, and nothing gets me hype like Flyers playoff hockey, which is why I'm depressed because it's been a minute.
Yeah. And the Phillies. I love going to watch
Yeah.
the Phillies playoffs. We went to somewhere in South Philly at a bar when the Phillies were on their World Series run. That shit was electric.
Yeah. Well, but it is literally like the fan base matters, like it, and where you're at. Like if you're in the city at a place, you're probably going to have a good time because it's just even the proximity alone. Like these people are all here and they give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you say we were at where did we meet up? What was that place called? In Yard House.
Yeah, Yard House. Yep.
If we were there in KOP, I bet it would be like half and half. You'd have a
Yep.
bunch of people who really gave a shit, and then the other half's just like they happened to be at King of Prussia that day, so they're eating and they're just gonna say stupid shit. So
Agreed. Shaq says, agreed, you guys are the perfect crowd to watch games with. Let's make that happen in the future. Hey man,
absolutely, bro.
we're down.
Where are
We are
Where are you at? Like, because I'm basically right by the Delaware PA border, and then he's in Royersford.
Yeah.
So like
So
we're not exactly close together, but there's a lot of places in the middle.
oh yeah. KOP being the biggest one.
Exactly. Well, I was gonna say it's like there's a SEPTA line near me. I know there's probably one somewhere that you could get to instead
Yeah.
of driving all the way in, but
Paoli's the closest one to me.
that's probably what is that, like 20, 25?
Yeah, it's like 25-ish minutes. Yeah.
Because you probably don't even touch well, you might use the highways if traffic's okay, but there's
I
a
would probably
couple.
hit 422 for like a second.
Got it. Out in DC. Okay.
Oh, all right.
We gotta
Yeah.
plan this. We gotta plan this shit in advance and actually have good coordination.
Exactly. We'll just pick a spot in the city and figure it out, really.
Yeah, I'll take SEPTA, you'll take Amtrak. It's fine.
Exactly. I've taken Amtrak from DC to Philly before. It's not too bad.
And if you do it enough in advance, the tickets are actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's the
And I'm
biggest-
sure we're going to know whatever game it is pretty far in advance. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But thanks, Shaq, again for tuning in. That is it here for us this week. We will be back next week with something, as long as one of the two of us doesn't get sick yet again.
We've been through some shit, so
Exactly. So I'm going to knock on wood real quick. And we will catch everybody next week. If you enjoy your podcast in the audio platform, check us out. We're on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. And obviously here on YouTube as well. Hit the like below if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you like the podcast. We appreciate it. Hit the bell, let you know when we go live. And Shaq, I agree. Let's do it. The sports talk will definitely be phenomenal. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Shaq. We will catch everybody next week. Peace.